What's up guys, Travis Bogart here with Above the Rest Training Systems here in Cheyenne, where we make you strong to elevate your game. In today's video, we're adding to the exercise library with the knee pull to deadlift complex. In this video, we're going to show you how that complex is performed, some of the common mistakes we see when it's performed here at ATR, and we'll show you how to plug it into your own program. Let's dive in. This exercise is designed to help you break the bar off the floor. It's great if that's where your weakness lies, but with that said, we have to perform it in a specific way if we're going to see it transfer to the actual deadlift. Make sure that your feet and your hands and everything are going to be exactly where they would be if you were performing a competition deadlift. From there, build all of the tension in your setup with all of the cues that we know and love. Then sit back and pull the bar up to your knee. Once it's at your knees, you're going to slowly and in control lower it back to the floor, silently touch the ground before going back up for the full deadlift. One of the most common mistakes that we see when people are performing this knee pull to deadlift complex is they'll bang the bar off the ground after the knee pull to get through to the deadlift. In powerlifting, we only have to perform one rep. In Strongman, it's super rare to see a contest where they don't specifically give you up commands on your deadlift to control for the bounce. If we're not going to compete that way, we really shouldn't train that way. Plus, this complex really helps us to build strength right off the floor. If we're using the bounce to get the bar off the floor for the deadlift, it completely defeats the purpose. We use what we call a silent touch and go technique, where you lower the bar back to the ground, touch it, but silently before coming back up for the next pull. This will force you to keep tension through the entire set. The next mistake that we see a lot is that guys will hit that knee pull, but they'll use your butt to do it. They'll almost lock up their torso and extend their knees and just stiff-legged deadlift the bar up to their knees. All that's going to do is get you practicing a bad technique breaking the bar off the floor. The cue to fix this is to try to lift the bar to your knees without moving your butt at all. This will force your knees to maintain a lot of the flexion that they have in your setup, and it'll try to get you lifting the bar to your knees using only hip extension. Your conventional deadlift isn't going to look this way, but if we cue it that way, it'll have a lot more transfer. The third mistake that we see is a lot of times people will perform their knee pull and it'll look a lot different than they would if they were just performing the conventional deadlift by itself. The whole purpose of this complex is to give us more practice breaking the bar off the floor. If we're not using the same technique for both, then it won't transfer to your conventional deadlift when you go back to hitting max singles or into contest. That means we're pretty much wasting our time. The first place that we like to put this in an athlete's program is his max effort work. We're not putting it in his max effort work in the classic sense, where we're really going for that max strain or a personal record on the day. We use it as a means of what we call technical overload. What we'll do is we'll have an athlete perform this up to as heavy a weight as they can before the technique breaks down. If you miss a weight because of technical breakdown, we'll give you another shot at that weight before calling it a day. 2 misses or 2 faults in your technique means that's it for that exercise for that week. Come back the next week, perform it the same way again, and do so until you start to see a plateau. If this is actually a technical weakness for you, you should see large jumps early on, and those are what are going to have the most transfer to your actual competition deadlift. The second place that we like to put it into our athletes program is as dynamic effort work. We'll hit like doubles or triples, which essentially becomes 4 or 6 breaks off the ground. As we do so, we're trying to get that accommodative resistance to come in right where the knee pull would transfer into the full pull. That means adding bands or chains that really come on in their tension right as the bar crosses the knee. This way we can continue to practice the knee pull and really get those technical adaptations from this exercise, but it doesn't pull away from where we're strongest up there at the top of the pull. The last place that we'll program this exercise is early in the workout as a warm-up. Let's take an athlete that's just run through this as a technical overload max effort movement, or even ran a cycle through with it as their dynamic effort movement. If this isn't an exercise that they do a lot, the adaptation might be pretty raw, pretty fresh, and pretty easy to lose. When we do decide to vary it up and go with a new variation, or even just go back to the conventional deadlift, we might want to incorporate the knee pull to deadlift complex as part of their warm-up. That way we can keep those technical adaptations fresh in their mind and guarantee that it transfers from one block to the next. Guys, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. We've got a lot more content coming your way. This is one of the key deadlift variations that we use in our Odin's Boys Strongman program. Be sure to check that out. We'll catch you in the next video.